did you all go from hustling to entrepreneurship to then what we now consider as a thriving business?
I'm actually the fourth generation. My grandparents had one of the first Black-owned restaurants in 1951 in Tampa, Florida. My father started his first restaurant back in '76. He made $143 staying open 22 hours. To see what kind of how, one, I give everything to God, number one, because there's no way our family could cook every single item or serve every customer. So we've had a huge blessing that's covered us all the time. For those that say you sound like Chick-fil-A, if he'll bless a chicken nugget, he's blessing a rib tip. There's a universal principle around all of this success.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in to a conversation with Bob. I have none other, VP of This Is It, Mr. Telley Anthony.
Bob, I'm so happy to be here, man. This is exciting. It's been a long time in the works for me and you, and I've always believed in timing and things happen in a certain season.
That's right.
That's right. That's what I believe, man. I know this is one of those times, and I know it's going to be more. My responsibility, and This Is It, is I'm the successor to the original entrepreneur. This is the only job I've ever really had. And I've done everything from washing of the dishes to signing the checks.
How do you deal with the weight of being like that?
For a long time, I really wanted to have my own identity. And, when you have a great man that you're in front of and that you're kind of following those footsteps, you want to figure out, how do I chart my own path? You wanted your own name to be called. And that was kind of one of the things that I watched, even in my tenure, was, that's the boss's son, that's Mr. Anthony's son. But, he got a name too. I think when you're trying to follow someone super great, you got to make your own great. You have to have a certain level of humility, a certain level of patience. My dad was always a great businessman. He was we was in the business of food, but I wanted to kind of get into the food part of it. When we go out, man, I always try to become a fan of the business. I became a fan of the industry and a student of the industry. When we started This Is It, or my dad started, it was a seafood concept.
Okay.
And you'd be surprised that it actually used to sell egg rolls and sell hot dogs and all that type of stuff. And then I think it was back in '86, he had a store on Washington Road, and across the street was about to be some competition.
Okay.
So we opened up a barbecue restaurant.
Right across the street from you all.
Right. No, he did. My dad.
Oh, he did.
He opened barbecue. So now we got a seafood and a barbecue concept right across the street from each other. So in '89, that's when he merged the two together.
So in that transition, This Is It changed because it was barbecue and soul food.
Yeah.
But now it is considered this is where you go for reservations. That's because of the quality of food.
I got to say this. I got to announce this right here on Bob's show first. I ain't said it nowhere else. We actually getting ready to go through a name change. So, bro, we actually getting ready. We are now This Is It Southern Kitchen and Barbecue.
What prompted that?
Bob asked a great question. How did we get here? A lot of trial and error. We've been on the ropes a few times. Okay. But one thing I watched was that if you made sure that you keep a quality product, made sure that you paid your employees first. And I tell them, look, if you're going to do it, you have to know the business side of this. You got to know how to set up your business structure. You need to do a SWOT analysis. What is going to be your strengths and what's going to be your weaknesses? It's been so many great restaurants and so many great businesses that just don't have the infrastructure. Trainers say be there at 5 a.m. You can't get there at 6. When you're fresh, guess what? You got all the ideas. I learned this about a few years ago. Shout out to Bishop Bonner. Great teaching. He's a great pastor, but I'm just talking about great life teaching. And he preached the message that I took and just applied to our company, applied to our management team, and it's called system. And when you realize when we talk about Chick-fil-A, we talk about McDonald's, we talk about Apple, all of these great billion-dollar companies, not just million-dollar, billion-dollar companies, they have a solid system. S, saves. Y, U, stress. There are more people that burn out before they get started. Time, energy. So saves you stress, time, energy. Are we volunteering?
Oh, no, sir.
No, sir. No, sir. Money. Every successful company that you see traded on the New York Stock Exchange has an incredible system. I was a young manager, and so the chef throws the keys at me, and he says, you go do it. You think you can do it better? You go do it. And at the time, I couldn't do it. And then I said to myself, I'll never feel like this again. And you got to be able to look at that person and still have love for them sometime, because they don't even realize the confusion that they're operating in. And once you keep grinding and you keep showing up, guess what's going to happen? They know they didn't break you. That's why I said I give my dad all the credit in the world for being humble enough, to stand in this role through time. But you got to realize, if you're that entrepreneur, people are looking at you.
That's right.
Do you respect your business first? When I go to This Is It, I pay for the food.
There you go.
Because it means something. Because if I pay for the food, you can't get it for free now.
That's right. That's right. What are some non-negotiables in your area, personally and also professionally?
Oh, that's a great one. Number one is being on time. Nothing starts till we get going. What's important right now? We have an issue there. I hate to cut you, but I gotta say, because you hit it on the head. Practice versus theory.
Oh yeah, yes.
They went to school to learn a theory, but have no practice.
Oh yeah, yes sir, yes sir. None at all.
Wow. They will come to the store. They come to This Is It straight out of culinary. Jacket on. I'm talking about booted and suited. Certain tie on. Come in. I just got my master's in hospitality. Okay then.
Yes.
Have you ever cleaned the toilet? Oh, that's beneath me.
Wow.
So when you realize that you don't respect the industry enough, because you got to know everything that comes with it. I say the leaders out here, find your own identity. Because again, how we said, there's no recipes, there's no new leaders.
This next one is it's kind of a fast pitch. I ask you a few questions. What are you listening to?
You might wake up and Telley listening to 8 Ball and MJG. Ooh boy, I'm a gospel /trap Sam Smith. I try to keep it diverse, man. I try to make sure I got a balanced playlist.
What is something you would tell the younger Telley?
Go to school for psychology. Oh, business is great. But if you can learn the way people think and study that trait, you can apply it to anything.
How do you manage people you don't pay?
Ooh, how do you manage with very low expectation?
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Today, I want to be the kingmaker. I don't want to be the king. I want to show you how to empower your vision and take your vision to a place that you didn't think it could go to. I was content at one store.
Yes.
And then when it started growing, it was like, wow, okay. And when it comes to me personally, I want to be behind the scenes of a place that moves the industry. I'm not trying to touch 1 million until I touch the person next to me.